Hello, I am Manuel, a PhD student in web science and a former language teacher, and also one of the mentors of this course. I have the privilege of having done the master's degree in applied linguistics here at this university, and Ross Mitchell and Alistair Archibald, for example, were some of my teachers, and well, it was quite a good experience. Ross and Alistair are featuring in this course. You may have seen them in some of the videos.
Hi, I'm Steve White. I'm also a web science PhD student focusing on e-learning, and also teach on the English for Academic Purposes online course at the University of Southampton, and I was involved in developing some of the materials for the online MA in ELT, which we've mentioned a number of times during this course. If you're interested in more information about that, please take a look at step 1.8, which is called What's Next?
Yes, this is the video review of week 2 of Understanding Language, the Understanding Language MOOC, the second run. This week has been an exciting one, actually. We have talked about how we can teach and learn languages in a classroom. Last week was more focused on how we learn languages and individuals, and this week is more on how we learn languages in groups and how we teach them. Steve, has there been much activity this week?
Yeah, there's been a lot of activity actually. We've had nearly 8,000 comments in the discussion spaces of week 2, and we've noticed a lot of comments in week 1, almost 40,000 now. 40,000, yeah. There's been a lot of people starting this week and catching up, and that's absolutely fine. You can start whenever you like, and the mentors, we the mentors, will try and be looking at the posts in week 2 and week 1, so do keep posting if you wish. It's great to see so many contributions, and so thanks a lot for those, and we're really learning a lot from you.
Yes, indeed we are. There are actually particularly popular sections this week. Ross Mitchell, Professor Ross Mitchell, started by defining a classroom as a community of practice, where learners work all together towards the same end, and the same end is learning a language, and this is a social, a collective event. Ross backs up this consideration with some interesting articles. I was especially interested in those of Duff, who pulled Vygotsky's sociocultural theory to explain how foreign languages are taught and learned collectively in the classroom. This actually has been the most popular step in this week. We have received so far, and this is day 5 of this week, we have received 1,500 comments only in this step. I would like to highlight a nice discussion started by Katrina Androsova about the advantages and disadvantages of learning in a classroom. Many participants have contributed to this discussion, and you are also encouraged to join. Find the link in the step, in the step, I think it's 1.2 or 1.3, and also find it in the description of this YouTube video below this video window. Anything else you would like to highlight, Steve?
Yeah, there's a few things. It's good to see so many pictures of your classrooms or classrooms of the teachers on this course in step 2.6, what's your classroom culture like? I think it really adds to the sense of shared community of teachers and learners on the course, and is really interesting. So keep sharing and commenting on those pictures, and we're in a classroom here. About task-based language teaching, there's been a lot of positive reactions to task-based teaching. So if you do try something from the course, such as a task-based approach, during the next few weeks, then please do post in the comments forums about your experiences of it. Also, there have been some good questions or concerns raised about the task-based approach. Things about the amount of preparation time you might require, or the amount of class time it takes. Also about class sizes and the levels of language that the learners need to do tasks successfully. Have a look at the Rod Ellis video about task-based languages for more information at the bottom of this step as well. One learner or participant on the course, Heather Fukase, and others actually have expressed concerns about how to use task when you have the needs of exams to prepare for. And this is an interesting subject and relates to the concept of washback in language teaching. This is the influence of exams on classroom practices, classroom activities and classroom management, and how they influence each other. And we'll post a link to an explanation of the concept of washback from the ELT journal at the bottom of this step as well. Another participant comment from Caroline Goot, among others, mentions how teachers get annoyed with having new approaches and new techniques seemingly constantly forced upon them as the next big thing and the way that you must teach. And this is a good point. Some writers in the field have described this phenomenon as the approach cycle, so that new techniques will come and go with time. One reason for this might be the social, political or cultural influences on the area of language teaching and learning, because they influence our beliefs about learning, about teaching, and about the overall aims of education and the philosophy of education. Take a look at the bottom of this step. I've included an essay, an interesting essay by Scott Thornbury on this subject. And generally I'd just like to encourage all of the participants, all of you guys, to keep sharing tips and advice and activities,
please do,
strategies for teaching, etc., and include links to the material that you like so that we can all learn from it.
Well, thank you very much, and that was it. Next week, in week 3, we will be discussing technology in language and as a new environment for learning and teaching. How we learn languages with technology, how we learn languages in the web, and all these discussions will be. We are looking forward to see them during the next week. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye bye.